I am your host, Denise, with Vine Nutrition, and today I am going to show you how to make 3 lunch ideas. And lunch is so important for all of us because it gives us something in the middle of the day to nourish our bodies and help us have energy to finish our work day. And I also believe that it ought to be very enjoyable because we need that break in the middle of the day as something that's very enjoyable. So I hope that some of these will appeal to you. These are going to be plant-based, but you're more than welcome to substitute any of the proteins to make it your own. The first recipe I'm going to do is going to be a garbanzo salad. So I'm just going to actually just mash these up a little bit, and we're going to make it just sort of coarse. You could also put it lightly on pulse in the food processor, but I'm just going to mash it by hand. So you get the idea. You could even mash them a little bit more than that, but I'm going to leave them a little bit more whole. And then I'm going to show you the seasonings to use. So it's sort of like an old-fashioned chicken sandwich, but you're using garbanzo beans. And it's just going to have a little twist. So here we have onions and celery. So I'm going to put those in. We got some grated carrot. We've got some curry and cayenne and salt and pepper. So it's going to have a little bit of a kick to it. You can add more or less depending on how spicy you like it. I love dried cherries with my curry, so I'm going to add that. You can also add chopped apples. You could add cranberries, whatever fruit you would enjoy. And then I'm going to put some toasted nuts in them. Last but not least, a little bit of mayo to hold it all together. If you don't want to use mayo, you could use some yogurt. But I think a little bit of mayo goes a long way. So I'm just mixing this up here. The curry and the garbanzo beans smell so good along with the toasted nuts. So I got it mixed up, and what I would do if you're packing it for your lunch is I would actually pack the filling separate from your bread so the bread stays firm and it doesn't get soggy. It only takes just a couple of seconds to fill your bread. Today I'm going to use pita bread, but you could use any type of bread you want. But I just think the pita and the garbanzo beans and the curry really go well together. You could also add a little bit of lettuce if you wanted to, but you don't have to. But you can just see this took minutes to prepare. That's one of the obstacles that people share with me about not packing their lunch. But you can make this filling on the weekend and even pack it in the little containers and have it ready to go for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning, and have your bread already packed, and then just pull it out of the fridge and it's ready to go. That's my kitty cat sneezing. If you heard that noise, she's watching too, because I guess she's going to make these for us, which would be really sweet. But here we go with the next one. So I'm trying to think of things that you can pack ahead, make ahead, and the mason jar salads are so popular. So I wanted to include one of those, and this one has a little bit of a twist that you may not have had before. This is an Asian salad called a Vietnamese bun, B-U-N, and as you see, there's really no bun at all. It's just called bun, and it is delicious. It's one of my favorite salads, and I actually had it for the first time in a restaurant and read the ingredients at the restaurant, and I've been making it ever since. And I actually made extra, so we're gonna have it tonight for supper. So not only am I gonna have all my lunch ideas ready, I'm gonna have supper ready too. So you know what Mr. Bruce is having tonight. So you'll have to ask him next time you see him if he enjoyed it, and he'll have to say yes to keep on my good side. Anyway, I love the rainbow colors in this salad. The purple from the red cabbage, the red from the bell pepper, the green from the romaine, and the orange from the carrot, the green from the cucumber, and I actually topped the protein on the top, and I used a marinated roasted tofu, but you could add chicken, you could have cooked shrimp, and at the very bottom there's some rice noodles. If you don't want rice noodles, you could do some fettuccine in there if you've never really had rice noodles before. But it makes a great gluten-free alternative for people that are not having gluten in their diet. And you don't even have to have the noodles in there if you are trying to go low carb. So I just wanted to mention that. But it's a great salad. And also, you can put peanuts on top too, and even some chopped cilantro. So I want to show you how to make the sauce that goes in it. And what I would do is I would have a little separate container that you would pack your salad dressing in, and then when you're ready for lunch, just pour it in there and mix it up. This salad dressing is really delicious, and you can use it for other salads too, but it's really great for this Asian dressing. So let me show you how it's made. First, you would add some soy sauce, lime juice, just a little bit of rice wine vinegar. And if you don't have rice wine vinegar, you can use a little bit of white vinegar. And you could even use a little bit of cider vinegar if you wanted. I have just a little bit of sugar in it, just because I ran out of honey and I didn't feel like going to the store this morning before we cooked together. You could also use a little maple syrup if you like that flavor. I like that flavor, but with the Asian dressing, you might try it first with sugar or honey. You could even use molasses if you like that, or sorghum. So I added just a little bit of peanut butter to mine, which is not traditional for this type of dressing. And it's also making it a little bit hard to mix. And you could add a little sriracha. I'm just adding a little bit of dried pepper flakes. So you just blend in the peanut butter. I don't have a whisk right in front of me, but it would really be better if you whisked it, or you could even make this in the food processor, but I am actually going to put mine in this little container. We'll see how I do. I may spill it. I'm spilling a little bit. And then we're going to shake it. I have a little funnel, but I was afraid it would even be worse because the peanut butter and the red pepper flakes might actually get caught in that funnel and just make a really big mess. So I made a mess, but not as big as it could have been. But here's the dressing. And if you like Asian dressing that you get in the bottle, You're gonna love this so much more. You might taste it ahead of time. You can put a little salt and pepper in it if you feel like it needs a little bit more salt, because if you make your own salad dressings, they're gonna be a lot lower in sodium. And you can put the healthy kinds of fats that you want in there. And that was something I didn't even add, but you could add a little bit of sesame oil. You could even add a little olive oil, or you can add a little bit of peanut oil if you don't have anybody in your family with allergies, or even canola. So that's the dressing, and it has such a more fresh, more flavorful taste than the Asian dressing you would buy. So the last thing I want to show you is so easy, and this was just made from leftovers from last night. So I really cheated because I didn't even make anything to show you, but I think that's the important thing, is learning simplicity to make your lunchbox delicious, because there's so many great things you could pack ahead of time and that you could eat that you will love. And it's important to have that middle of the day be sort of an oasis, sort of a getaway. So it's great if you can get away from your desk, even go outside for a few minutes and just enjoy the day, because you have a few more hours till you get to go home. If you're working a usual 9 to 5, or nowadays it's a 7 to 5 or 7 to 6. So this is just a bento box. Most of the time you'll see them, you know, as a Japanese, Asian choice when you go. But it's a great container to pack your lunch. And this bento box is actually leftovers from Taco Tuesday. So it has some chili beans, but it could be whatever leftover protein you had in your tacos, some taco chips, or some mini taco shells, or you could even pack some full-size taco shells separate, some lettuce, a little bit of cheese if you want cheese. It could have whatever toppings you're going to have in your taco. Maybe it's chopped tomato, chopped onion, you know, whatever you put in your tacos. You can vary it and have as many Taco Tuesday leftover bento boxes as you desire. And then I just pack my salsa separate. So I hope that these 3 choices give you some new ideas to start packing your lunch, and you can start enjoying your lunch even more. And thank you for sharing your lunch today with me, because it is lunchtime. I hope you're having a great lunch. And if you are looking for the recipes, you can get them on the Vine Right Nutrition page under recipes and seasonal menu ideas. But thank you so much for joining me, and next week I will be talking about apples. Bye-bye.